Have you ever wondered what would happen if you simply disappeared? No explanation, no trace, just silence. When you leave a void, not just in space, but also in the minds of those who knew you. How would they feel? How would they cope with your absence? And most importantly, what lessons would it teach them and you? Stoic philosophy once said, "Every loss is an opportunity to learn." Silence is not just an end, but also the beginning of an emotional journey from shock, curiosity, anxiety, to acceptance, and finally change. Join us on this journey to discover 9 things they feel when you simply disappear. Because sometimes silence is the most telling. When someone you once considered an integral part of your life suddenly disappears, the first reaction is often shock. Their presence, once taken for granted, is replaced by an unexpected silence. The mind begins to wonder, what happened? Why did they leave? Did I do something wrong? Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Remind yourself every day that you may lose anyone or anything you love." This is not to make us cold or insensitive, but to prepare us for the impermanence of life. Marcus emphasizes that shock often comes from forgetting that everything is temporary. The loss or absence of a person is not unusual. It is the nature of the world. Imagine a close friend of yours suddenly cutting off all contact without explanation. At first you are shocked, feeling that something important has been taken away. However, if you apply a Stoic mindset, you will realize that this shock comes from being too attached to their presence, instead of accepting that no one is obliged to stay forever. Shock is a natural human reaction, but it is also an opportunity for us to reflect on ourselves. This feeling often comes from depending on things that are beyond our control. From a Stoic perspective, shock can be a lesson. Learn to let go of expectations and accept reality. I believe that when we face shock with equanimity, we not only overcome the feeling of loss, but also develop a deeper appreciation for the moments we have with others. Shock is a reminder that life is unpredictable, but this does not mean we are helpless. Instead of being afraid, learn to face impermanence. Let the shock become the first step of maturity. 10. After the initial shock, curiosity sets in. They ask a series of questions. What happened? Why did they disappear? What are they doing? Did I do something wrong? Your absence creates a void in their mind, and they try to fill it with thoughts, assumptions, and even unrealistic scenarios. Curiosity is a natural human response to ambiguity, but according to Stoic philosophy, ambiguity is not something to be solved, it is an opportunity for them to learn to let go of what is beyond their control. Epictetus once said, "If something is beyond your control, do not let it control your mind." Curiosity, in this case, is a manifestation of the desire to control information, control reason, and sometimes control emotions. When you disappear, they can't control your actions, so they try to control how they feel about your absence. This only leads to confusion in their mind. Imagine a close friend who is used to having you around. When you suddenly disappear, they start wondering, what are you doing? Why aren't you answering their messages? Did they do something wrong? These questions not only distract them, but also make them forget that what's more important is how they deal with the silence, not how to explain it. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius emphasizes that we can't control other people's actions, but we can control how we react. This is true in their case too. Instead of letting curiosity take over, They need to learn to accept that not every question needs an answer. I think this curiosity not only speaks to their concern for you, but also reminds them of their own insecurities. People often want things to be clear and certain, but in reality, there are not always answers. If they learn to stop searching for answers that are not theirs, they will find peace. Curiosity is not a bad thing, but if left unchecked, it can become a source of anxiety. Stoicism teaches us that sometimes letting go of unnecessary questions is the path to freedom of the mind. Curiosity is natural, but sometimes curiosity is just another form of clinging. Stoicism reminds us that not every question needs an answer, and silence is sometimes the answer. Number 3, anxiety. After the unanswered curiosity, they begin to feel anxious. This anxiety stems from the fear that they may have done something wrong or that your disappearance has negative implications for the relationship. Their mind is clouded by recurring thoughts. Was it my fault? What did I do to make them leave? The Stoic philosophy suggests that anxiety is the result of placing too much weight on things outside of our control, in this case, your actions and thoughts. Epictetus once said, "It is not the events that worry us, but the way we interpret them." When faced with someone's disappearance, anxiety does not come from their actions, but from how we interpret them. Epictetus reminds us that anxiety often stems from our failure to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. A close friend is left behind without explanation. They start to review all their recent interactions, looking for signs of error. Did they say something that hurt you? Were they not good enough for you? Stoic philosophy suggests that instead of letting anxiety cloud their thinking, they should focus on what they can actually change, their own attitudes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't be afraid of distress. Distress doesn't have a negative connotation. It's by its nature. Depression is not the thing itself that makes you distressed, but how you choose to perceive it." I think anxiety in this case is a very human response, but Stoic philosophy encourages us to look deeper into the cause of anxiety, our fear of losing control and feeling insecure because of the unknown. Your disappearance, from this perspective, is an opportunity for them to learn to let go of unnecessary anxiety. Anxiety does not solve the problem, it only complicates it. If they focus on improving themselves instead of trying to decipher your actions, they will grow. Anxiety is a product of the untrained mind. Stoic philosophy reminds us that instead of clinging to things we cannot control, we should learn to let go, because only by letting go can we find true peace. Number 4, anger. After anxiety, some people will turn to anger. Anger that you left without explanation. Anger because they feel betrayed, slighted, or simply disrespected. Anger often masks a deeper pain, the pain of realizing that they have no control over your actions. However, Stoic philosophy emphasizes that anger, despite its explosive power, only clouds reason and takes people away from inner peace. Seneca, in his work on anger, wrote, "Nothing is worse than anger, for it destroys the mind before it hurts others." Stoic philosophy advises that anger should not be repressed, but controlled and transformed. Seneca emphasizes that when we are angry with others, it reflects that we have expected too much of them, forgetting that people are inherently imperfect. Imagine a close friend of yours is angry at your silence. In their anger, they blame you. "How could you do this to me? Wasn't our friendship meant anything?" But that anger doesn't change the fact that you left. It only makes them more miserable. Seneca reminds them that instead of letting anger consume their minds, they should ask themselves, what am I really angry about? What did I expect from them, and was it reasonable? From there, they will realize that anger is just a reaction to false expectations. I think anger is one of the most recognizable emotions, but also one of the most dangerous. When angry, people are prone to saying and doing things they later regret. Stoic philosophy reminds us that anger is not the enemy, it is a teacher, teaching us how to control our emotions and expectations. If someone is angry because you disappeared, it is a sign that they need to look at themselves, not you. They need to learn to adjust their expectations and find peace within themselves instead of demanding it from others. Anger is a double-edged sword, hurting both others and yourself. Stoic philosophy teaches that when you learn to let go of expectations, you also learn to never be hurt by anger. 5. Nostalgia. As the anger subsides, deeper feelings begin to emerge. They miss the moments they shared with you, the conversations, the laughs, or simply your presence in their lives. Your absence becomes a void that their minds fill with beautiful memories from the past. If not handled properly, it can cause people to cling to things that cannot be changed. Nostalgia is a reminder of the value of the present because things are only truly precious when they are present. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Do not mourn for what is lost. Be grateful for what you had." Instead of letting nostalgia drag them into the pain of loss, Marcus encourages them to turn this feeling into a lesson in gratitude. Good memories are not meant to keep us in the dark, but to remind us to cherish similar moments in the future. Imagine them sitting in the room where you and they used to talk for hours. The afternoon sun is shining through the window, and in that space, memories of laughing together appear. They smile, but there is a hint of sadness in their smile. Marcus Aurelius advises that instead of regretting what has passed, they should ask themselves, how can these memories help me live more fully in the present? This is how missing someone becomes not a lingering sadness, but a driving force for appreciation. I think missing someone is a beautiful emotion, but it is also dangerous if we let it control us. When we miss someone, instead of grieving the loss, ask yourself, what do these memories teach me? Stoic philosophy reminds us that everything in life has value, even absence, because it makes us realize that the present is always precious. If they know how to transform nostalgia into gratitude, they will not only overcome the pain, but also learn to appreciate new relationships and new opportunities. Nostalgia is not bad, but Stoic philosophy teaches, instead of regretting, learn to be grateful, because beautiful memories are not a shelter, but a motivation to live more fully in the present. Number 6, emptiness. After the feelings of anger and longing, they begin to feel a deep emptiness. Your presence used to be a part of their life, and now that emptiness feels like a hole that cannot be filled. They feel like something is missing, but they cannot clearly express it. The Stoic philosophy sees this emptiness as a natural part of life. Emptiness is not something to be feared, but an opportunity for people to face themselves, learn to be independent and stronger from within. Epictetus said, "It is not external things that empty us, but the way we cling to them." The emptiness they feel is not because you left, but because they placed too much value on your presence in their lives. The Stoic philosophy advises that to overcome emptiness, people must learn to find value and happiness within themselves, not from external factors. Imagine them sitting in a room that was once filled with laughter between you and them. Now the silence is heavy. They try everything to forget the feeling. Turn on the TV, scroll through social media, but nothing can erase the emptiness inside. Epictetus would advise them, "Sit still, face this emptiness. It is not the enemy, it is the teacher." From the silence, they will learn to understand that no one, not even you, is responsible for filling the void in their lives but themselves. I think emptiness is a scary feeling, but also a precious opportunity. It forces us to face ourselves, to face what we truly need. Stoic philosophy teaches that instead of fearing emptiness, we should see it as a quiet space to rediscover ourselves and build in our strength. Your absence not only leaves a void, but also opens up opportunities for them to grow, learn independence, and find meaning within themselves. Emptiness is not the enemy, but a reminder that true meaning lies within us, not in the things we cling to. Number 7, acceptance. As they move through the emotions of shock, curiosity, anxiety, anger, longing, to emptiness, a shift gradually emerges. Acceptance. They realize that your absence is an unchangeable reality. They begin to learn to live without you, finding ways to reestablish balance in their lives. The Stoic philosophy sees acceptance as an important step to achieving inner peace. Acceptance does not mean giving up, but acknowledging the truth and focusing on what can be controlled. Marcus Aurelius in Meditations once wrote, "Love what fate brings you, for it is the best thing the universe has in store for you. Amor fati, love your fate." This philosophy encourages us to accept whatever happens, good or bad, because it is all part of the natural order. As they accept your absence, they not only overcome their sense of loss, but they also learn to engage with life more fully. Imagine them slowly returning to their daily routines without the longing for your return. They begin to engage in new activities, connect with others, and even smile when they think of you, not with sadness or regret, but with gratitude for the good memories. Marcus Aurelius would remind them, "We cannot control everything, but we can always control our attitude. Acceptance is not weakness, it is strength." I think acceptance is the most profound emotion of all, because it requires mental strength and maturity. Acceptance not only frees them from pain, but also helps them recreate their lives in a new way. Stoicism teaches that when we accept things as they are, we not only find peace, but also become stronger because we are no longer controlled by things beyond our control. After all, they accept. They no longer blame you, no longer grieve for your absence. Instead, they feel grateful for what they had and move on. Acceptance is the key to opening the door to inner peace. Stoicism reminds us that when you learn to accept your fate, you don't just survive, you start to truly live. 8. Gratitude. Once they accept your absence, they move on to a deeper emotion, gratitude. They begin to look back at the good memories, the lessons you brought, and appreciate your presence in their lives. Gratitude doesn't erase the loss, but it changes the way they view it, from pain to opportunity to learn and grow. The Stoic philosophy sees gratitude as the foundation of peace. It is when people are grateful not only for the pleasant things, but also for the hardships and losses that help train the mind and soul. Seneca once wrote, "Receive everything as a gift, even if it seems imperfect. All is part of the great order." Seneca encourages us to see everything in life, both the joys and the pains, as gifts that help us grow. When they feel gratitude, they remember you not only as someone who has passed through their lives, but also as someone who has taught them valuable lessons. Imagine that they are flipping through an old photo album, looking at pictures of you and laughing together. Instead of feeling sad, they smile. They think to themselves, "How lucky I am to have had these moments. These memories will always be there, even when you are no longer here." Marcus Aurelius would remind them, "Be grateful for every moment, because everything in life is temporary. Only when we cherish it can we truly live fully." I think gratitude is the most beautiful emotion because it turns pain into strength, loss into lessons. Stoic philosophy teaches that when we are grateful, we not only overcome difficulties, but also find joy in the little things in life. Gratitude is not about forgetting the loss, but about seeing it from a different perspective, a perspective of appreciation and learning. When they are grateful for your presence, even for a short time, they will grow and live more meaningfully. They are grateful to you, not because you are gone, but because you were here. You brought beautiful memories, valuable lessons, and because of you, they learn to appreciate the little things in life. Gratitude is the medicine that heals all wounds. Stoic philosophy teaches that when you are grateful for everything, good or bad, you will find the true meaning of life. The final thing, change. After experiencing all the emotions from shock, curiosity, anxiety, anger, longing, emptiness, acceptance, to gratitude, they enter the final stage, change. Your disappearance is not just a loss, but a catalyst that pushes them to look deeper into themselves, to change the way they live and think. The Stoic philosophy sees every event, good or bad, as an opportunity for spiritual growth and evolution. Change is not just an outcome, but a journey that helps them grow and become better versions of themselves. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The obstacles on the path become the path itself. What makes us stumble is what makes us stronger." Your disappearance becomes the obstacle that they must overcome. Instead of avoiding or blaming, they learn to use this loss as an opportunity to change the way they see themselves and the world around them. Imagine they used to depend on your presence to feel whole. But after you're gone, they slowly realize that their power doesn't come from others, but from themselves. They start taking time for themselves, learning new things, establishing healthy habits, and building more meaningful relationships. Epictetus would tell them, "No one can take your power away from you unless you allow it. All change starts from within, and you are responsible for your progress." I think change is the ultimate goal of any emotional journey. Your absence doesn't just create a hole, it also creates an opportunity for them to fill it with new strength, growth, and meaning. Stoic philosophy teaches that every hardship is an opportunity to improve. Change isn't just about overcoming pain, but how they use that pain to reshape themselves. As they change, they not only become stronger, but they also understand the value of every moment in life. They change. Your disappearance is no longer a pain, but a catalyst. They learn to stand on their own, to find their inner strength, and thanks to that, they not only surpass you, but also their former selves. Change is the culmination of the emotional journey. Stoic philosophy reminds us that only when you face and overcome adversity can you truly find yourself, and disappearance is sometimes the greatest gift you can leave them. Life is a journey of constant learning. Presence or absence, joy or sadness, all have meaning when we know how to perceive them correctly. If you feel this story touches your heart, click the subscribe button to not miss meaningful content about Stoic philosophy, where we explore inner peace and how to live more fully together. Don't forget to leave a comment about how you feel when watching this video, and share it with friends who think they need a reminder of the power of change. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, every step in life, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity for us to grow. See you in the next videos.